Recently, the China to Russia special train opened, and more than 1 billion crude oil will also be shipped from Russia to China. Will the oil price situation be changed? What impact will this have on domestic oil prices? Let's take a closer look in this video. In today's process of economic development and social construction, the importance of energy cannot be ignored. For any country or region, if it loses its energy supply, it will be difficult to develop. Petroleum is known as the blood of industry and is an indispensable and important support in the process of industrialization in modern society. As the conflict between Russia and Ukraine continues to ferment, Western capitalist countries led by the United States have adopted a series of sanctions against Russia. Just when Russia was under economic sanctions, China sent a big gift in time and opened a special train for China-Russia oil transportation. Crude oil worth 1 billion was shipped from Russia to China. This move can not only solve the problems faced by China, but also change the world oil price and break the global dominance of the US dollar. So, will the China to Russia oil train change the world energy pattern? How will the large amount of Russian crude oil imported into China affect China's domestic oil prices? China needs to import a large amount of oil from the Middle East every year, and its dependence on foreign crude oil imports is as high as 72%. Petroleum is inseparable from all aspects of China's economic production. China began to import oil in 1993, and now it has become the world's largest oil importer. Although China's oil reserves have reached 4 billion tons, China still needs to continuously import oil from abroad. Today's international situation is very severe, and international oil prices basically change every day. Some time ago, the United States and European countries launched an economic war with Russia, causing international oil prices to soar again. As international oil prices continue to rise, China's domestic refined oil prices also rise simultaneously. Many car owners have said that if the oil price rises again, they really can't afford to drive. However, in recent years, with the rise of international crude oil prices, it has become very difficult for China to maintain the import scale of previous years. At this time, Russia and China have strengthened cooperation in crude oil, which can be said to have solved China's urgent needs. It is reported that after the opening of the China to Russia special train, Russia will immediately ship 1 billion tons of crude oil to China, and will continue to send energy materials to China afterwards. Moreover, in order to reach a long-term cooperative relationship with Chinese companies, Russian companies also stated that they will sell to China at a lower price than previously sold to Europe, and will also increase their energy strategic layout in the Asian region. Recently, Chinese companies have also signed relevant energy cooperation agreements with 2 Russian companies, involving more than 100 billion yuan. As we all know, Russia is sitting on the 2 major energy gold mines of natural gas and oil, and now the cooperation with China is blooming everywhere. Take this special train worth $1 billion as an example. It not only plays the role of transportation, but also holds the red rope of friendship between China and Russia. The relationship between China and Russia can be so close, but it also makes other countries jealous. In fact, this cooperation between China and Russia is an inevitable result based on the current international situation. China needs to import oil resources, but Russia has a large amount of oil that cannot be exported. The 2 sides hit it off and reached a trade cooperation. Previously, oil imports from the Middle East cost more to transport. Importing from Russia can not only reduce transport costs, but also help Russia solve the problem of excess oil. Therefore, in the context of the current international situation, it is of great significance for the two parties to open an oil line. At the same time, the cooperation between China and Russia can also improve the current embarrassing situation of Russia in the international arena. Many countries are unwilling to import energy from Russia. Russia itself is a major energy exporter. Failure to export will inevitably have some negative effects on the economic development of this country. However, there is no need to worry about cooperation with China because China is a big consumer of oil resources. The energy exported by Russia can be perfectly digested by China, and it can be exported no matter how bad it is. China has been importing oil from the Middle East in the past, but in fact China has always wanted to get rid of its dependence on oil from the Middle East. The deep cooperation between China and Russia not only has an important impact on the economic development of the two countries, but also is mutually beneficial in terms of homeland security. According to reports, the imported crude oil shipped back from Russia by China is processed and refined into petroleum, liquefied gas, lubricating oil, and other products. As the world's largest oil importer, China spends hundreds of billions of dollars on oil imports from overseas every year. However, before reaching cooperation with Russia, China has always needed to buy from overseas countries. However, most of the energy pricing power of these overseas countries is in the hands of the United States, which is very passive for China. Therefore, the Strait of Malacca has become the economic lifeline of China, because this is where the Gulf oil tankers must pass. Prior to this, the U.S. put pressure on China on the Strait of Malacca in an attempt to prevent China from importing oil from the Gulf countries. Now China and Russia have finally reached an oil trade cooperation which can be described as a win-win situation. On the one hand, Russia has solved the current, competitive war that is constantly being suppressed by other countries, and on the other hand, China can gradually get rid of its dependence on oil in the Middle East. Now that China and Russia have built a pipeline to transport oil, it can be said to be more beneficial to the trade between the two countries. In fact, China has successively built 3 oil transportation pipelines. One of them originated from a Russian oil station spanning more than half of Russia and finally arrived in Daqing City, Heilongjiang Province, China. The total length of this line is 920 kilometers, and the annual oil transportation volume is as high as 15 million tons. The second oil pipeline has a total length of more than 2,800 kilometers and a stronger oil transportation capacity, which can reach about 20 million tons. The third line has a total length of 2,402 kilometers, and its oil transportation capacity should not be underestimated. Now China and Russia have reached an agreement that 360 million tons of oil will be transported from Russia to China. For China, in the next 25 years, there is no need to worry about oil reserves. Not only that, China has also reached a natural gas cooperation agreement with Russia. In the future, 10 billion cubic meters of natural gas will be continuously delivered to China. For Russia, it has made a big deal, and for China, there is no need to worry about energy consumption. It's really a win-win for both China and Russia. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel for more great content. See you next time.